Well, live once again. Welcome, welcome. We did have the live earlier, you guys, those of you who got knocked out. So hopefully you are coming back in and just sharing, you guys, as we are doing our Ubering. And so we wanted to just take out time and talk with you guys as we are traveling. So come ride with us as we are chatting. So yes, I want to continue to share in the aspect of making sure that we are following the clues that history is leaving. And a lot of times, a person that has already done it and been successful at it, we do want to follow exactly what they're doing. We want to glean from what they're doing. We want to make sure that we are utilizing the exact same things as they are. Because why? It worked. So if there is a method that has worked and somebody is showing you that, you want to follow what they're doing. And that is so important. And I know it's difficult, you guys, to stay on. You can hear my voice but can't see because, of course, we're traveling here. So, but we are here. And so certainly excited about that. I can turn it around so you guys can actually see the highway here. All right. So as you see, we are traveling, and thank you guys for joining us on our Uber ride here. And so just really certainly grateful and very, very glad to be out this evening. And so as we are traveling, come join us to travel. So we do want to make sure that we are doing what we can to be intentional. Now, one of the things that they did speak about, and I really want to speak into that, is being able to relax and unwind, being able to meditate, being able to have yourself realigned, have your spirit realigned in the proper way. There are several things that must be done to bring yourself back into a realignment. And I really can speak to that place because honestly, when a person has a stroke or has something happen to them, their body resets. In case you guys don't know that, as a survivor myself, your body literally resets. And you have to relearn everything all over again. And it is the strangest thing to walk through. But we want to talk about that's the physical aspect. But when you and I are walking through things, sometimes your body needs to reset. If you've noticed, sometimes people will cut their hair. They'll cut their hair because they're trying to have a reset, a restart. And so some of them feel like that hair may be attached to some bad energy, or that hair just may have been there in a place of something that was painful. It may have been a reminder of something that was not pleasant, so they choose to cut it off, right? Excuse me, guys. So, if there is a choice to cut it off, they're trying to rid themselves of that space that was painful. And sometimes some of the ways that you can reset is allowing yourself to pull away for a period of time to maybe go, if you're a person that loves to be by the water, maybe going and being next to the ocean can be a place of reset for you. You can also have quiet time to yourself where no one else is there, to where you can reset, giving yourself that opportunity to rid anything that's heavy, that's weighing you down, that's causing you to be sick. And you may not be physically sick, but we can be sick in our emotions. How many of you know that? And a lot of times, if your emotions are sick, it can show up in your physical body. Now, if you're not aware of that, then you guys look that up because it's very valuable information. I experienced that. And sometimes when there are different things or diagnoses that they cannot come up with what's wrong, a lot of time it's attached to something emotional. It's attached to some type of trauma that happened that was undealt with or unresolved, right? You guys, believe it or not, it can also be tied to unforgiveness. Now I know I'm going down the trail here, but you need to hear me and hear me well. As a person who had to walk through forgiveness, this is what I had to learn. And I'm sharing this because this is part of reset. This is part of healing. And sometimes we are in our own way. We are preventing our own selves from being the best possible version of ourselves that God truly created us to be. But when we are broken, when we are hurting, if we've become bitter, if we're holding unforgiveness of any kind, that can breed sickness. Now, that is a scientific fact. You can look it up. Google it. Check it out. And so it may not always be easy, but this is what I will say. It is vitally important and it's necessary. Listen, you don't forgive and release because they deserve it. You don't do it because they weren't wrong or because it didn't hurt you or devastate you. Yes, all of that is true. You were devastated and that it was done the way that you were treated. But let me help you understand this. The forgiveness is for you so that you can get to a place to where you are healed. Healing comes in layers. Hear me well. It comes in layers and it comes in different forms. And if you are carrying a wound to your soul that had to do from trauma, from something that you experienced that was difficult, it could have been betrayal. It could be a loss. It could be grief. Whatever it's tied to, in order to be healed, you must be real. I'm going to say that again for those of you who are listening. In order to be healed, you must be real. And you may be asking, what do I mean by that? What I mean is you must be real about the emotion and how it affected you. Because a lot of times we think because we've went on with our lives that we've actually healed that area of trauma. And I'm here to tell you a lot of times, even at our big age, as we are adults and get older and older, more mature, we are still carrying certain wounds because why? We haven't been real about it. And this is what I mean. When you become real, you allow yourself to revisit that painful incident. Even if you were a little girl or a little boy, you allow yourself to go back to the moment. And I'm going to share with you, if you haven't been through a healing session, okay, by the way, I do those. I do one-on-ones, okay? Now, if you haven't experienced it, I want to tell you, you may begin to feel the emotion as if it was happening to you now, okay? That means you have opened yourself up and you're allowing yourself to go back to the time zone, the incident in which it's happening, and literally you're there. You are there once again, and you're feeling every emotion, all right? Now, what you want to do, don't be afraid of the tears. Don't be afraid of the emotion, because this is going to bring healing, all right? Now, the emotions may come up, and it's supposed to, because that means that you've allowed yourself to open back up to go revisit that painful place, not so we can stay there, guys. Listen, it's not so we can stay there. It is simply so that you can heal, so that you can release the pain of what happened in that traumatic moment that kept you stuck. Because may I just inform you here that many are still stuck in certain places in their emotions where that child was traumatized. And we may be well over in our 40s, our 50s, or 60s, but that little child that was traumatized is still inside of our bodies. Now, I know this is a little much for some of you, and that's okay. You cannot be afraid to open yourself up to learn some truths that will bring healing to you. After all, everybody desires to truly be healed, to truly love, and to open yourself up for love. A lot of times, some of the things that's blocking from being able to love properly, being able to move forward, is the places of pain. And I need you to hear me. I need you to hear me. My desire is to see you healed and whole, and really allowing yourself to revisit those painful places, revisit it so that you can heal from it. And what you must do, listen to me, you must acknowledge